Let's go live to Regina, where Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe is now responding to Donald Trump's tariffs. Let's have a listen.
For a number of American families, but I would say that it is the $600 billion of goods that are being subject to a tax from their president that is ultimately going to push up the cost of everything they do, and it's going to threaten many of the jobs in certain industries throughout the U.S. No.
I guess why did it then take so long? Every other premier, as you saying, came up with their plan yesterday.
Oh, a whole 24 hours ago. I mean, like this is the conversation that we're going to be having for, the next number of months. And I think it's important for us to recognize that 24 hours is not going to change. Well, it may change some of the decisions that are coming out of the White House, but we need to understand that this is not. This is going to be the new normal for the foreseeable future, is to have this changing environment coming from south of the border, coming out of the White House, and we're going to have to manage ourselves through this, manage the economies or the industries that are creating wealth and defending those industries at times that are creating wealth as well. As I said today, we saw a breakthrough in the auto industry where the American auto manufacturers seem to have been able to get through to the president, and that's who is making these decisions. There are a number of folks around him that do ultimately get through to him, and that's what we have been trying to engage with from the provincial perspective alongside other premiers and alongside industry partners here as well. But it is encouraging when you see one of those groups actually get through to the president and he makes a decision on the facts as they actually are, that the 25% tariffs are going to be hugely and demonstrably impact the auto manufacturing industry to the point of shutdowns. And I think the same can be I think the same can be said for a number of other industries as well, many of which Saskatchewan supplies either the raw materials or some degree of value-added materials for.
You suggested Saskatchewan no longer sell potash or oil to the U.S. and from different markets. I guess you're kind of on the same page, but you're not quite prepared to cut them off completely.
It'd be very difficult, I think, to cut off the flow of a product completely. What Premier Ford has put forward with respect to electricity that is being produced by the provincially owned hydro company is to not even cut that off, but to actually add a surcharge to it. And so, adding a surcharge to a product that the government doesn't own would be a tariff, of which would be the federal government's purview or responsibility. Again, I would point to the fact that if you were to shut down production going to the U.S., and let's use potash as an example, that would result in immediate job loss in Saskatchewan. Immediate job loss in Saskatchewan. That's not our goal. Our goal is to open up markets not only in the U.S. and around the world. As we move forward, there's a lot of emotion in this discussion on when decisions are made, what decisions are made. There's a lot of hypothetical statements that are thrown out there. We need to understand that there is going to be a changing environment. Some of that is going to be emotional, but as we move forward, us as representatives of the government of Saskatchewan, we need to make very calm, sensible decisions that are in the best interest of the people that live here.
With the idea that there might be a round of tariffs coming March 12th and then April 2nd, I suppose, what other options are on the table for Saskatchewan now to respond to
that would be surmising or talking about the, hypothetically what might be happening in the future. And so those decisions will be made. But I can assure you, and to Lisa's question earlier, those discussions about, what opportunities we might have as a province, what opportunities we might have working alongside the federal government, those discussions are occurring as we speak, as were these discussions about moving forward in the space of procurement, as well as U.S. liquor and beer in our wholesale system here in Saskatchewan. You've seen largely that coordinated across the province over the course of the last 24 hours. And I think that's come about through the multiple discussions that we've had with the other premiers and the Prime Minister.
So that being some relief for 3 auto manufacturers. You yourself have had 2.
And that is Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe. He is responding to Donald Trump's tariffs. We will continue to follow this situation and this story.